Afternoon was designed by Robert H. Hugman in 1928. City approved his plans in 1929, but because of the Depression, construction was delayed until 1939, completed in 1941 at a cost of $430,000. And once completed, there was a great reluctance by locals to place their businesses at river level. If you look up to my right, you can see a circular building. It's called the Clifford Building, one of the oldest on the river, opening in 1890. If you look at the signage on its balcony below the green hand railing, it reads R.H.H. Hugman, Architect. Back in 1941, when construction was completed on this phase of the Riverwalk, Robert Hugman, the concept architect, was the very first person to locate his business at river level to make a point to his peers that because of the flood control system, the businesses would be safe. If you look up to my right, you can see Caserio Restaurant. Caserio Restaurant is unique among restaurants on our river because they were the very first to locate at river level. Opening in 1946, they pioneered riverside dining and all boating activities along the San Antonio River. We are now leaving the natural flow of the river and entering the man-made extension. It was cut in the mid-1960s to connect the Riverwalk with our hemisphere. Today it connects the Riverwalk with our convention center and our river center hall. As we continue our tour this afternoon, the fact that we can do it in a boat can be attributed, at least in part, to the efforts of two ladies. Emily Edwards and Rena Maverick Green, in 1924, founded the San Antonio Conservation Society. That was a very critical time in the city's development because that is when the city and the Army Corps of Engineers were deciding what type of a flood control system to build on the river. In fact, one of the main reasons to found it in 1924 was because both Emily and Rena did not like a number of the proposals under consideration for a flood control system. So they founded their society and, together with other groups, lobbied the city to select a flood control plan that would provide navigable water when completed. In 1929, we started with about 2 miles. Over the last 70 years of constant upgrades and expansions, today we have 14 miles. And all the improvements you see on this tour, and many, many more that are in areas where this part boat does not go. Now, if you look up to my left, you will see the twin towers of the Marriott River Center Hotel. It opened in 1988, but before it could be built, its developers had to decide what to do with the building that occupied its site. That building was the Fairmont Hotel. It had opened in 1906, been declared a historic site, which meant it could not be destroyed, leaving the developers two choices: incorporate the old Fairmont into the new Marriott or move it. Between March 30th and April the 4th of 1985, they picked up the 1,600-ton, 3-story brick structure called the Fairmont, put it on dollies, and moved it 6 blocks south of the corner of South Alamo into Weaver Street, where it exists today as a functioning hotel. Also earned itself a spot in the Guinness World Book of Records as the largest building ever moved through city streets to that time. Now, if you look up to my right and over the wall, you will see the Tower of the Americas. It was the centerpiece of our 1968 hemisphere. It is a 754-foot tall freestanding tower, second only to the Stratosphere in Las Vegas, Nevada. Its top house weighs 700 tons, contains an observation deck and evolving restaurant called the Chart House, which rotates 360 degrees each hour, and is an excellent venue to view both the skyline and the Riverwalk Water Park in its entirety. Now, as we come around the bend, if you look directly in front of the boat, you will see the convention center. It opened in 1968 as an exhibition hall for our hemisphere. But as our hospitality industry grew and conventions became a major source of revenue for the city, the center was upgraded, enhanced, and enlarged a number of times. Today it contains almost 1 million square feet of display area, and technologically speaking, it is state-of-the-art. It was named for Henry B. Gonzalez. Henry was the first Hispanic elected to the United States House of Representatives, serving San Antonio from 1961 until 1998 in that capacity. Henry did many, many good things for our city. Now if you look up to my left, you will see the Lila Cockrell Theater. It was named for Lila Cockrell because, like Henry Gonzalez, she also was an icon of public service to San Antonio for almost 5 decades. She began her career as a young woman serving as a Girl Scout leader while working her way through city offices and politics. That led to her election to a number of terms on our city council. That service led to her election to serve 3 terms as our first and so far our only elected female mayor. She served those terms between 1975 and 1991. She completed her career in appointed positions that were both paid and unpaid, and retired in early 2013 at the age of 91 so she could write a book. We are now in the Convention Center Lagoon. If you look directly in front of the boat, what you will see is the atrium. The atrium provides a direct passage from the Riverwalk to Hemisphere Plaza. The plaza contains the Tower of the Americas, the Institute of Texan Cultures, and Hemisphere Park. And today is undergoing a major renovation. Once again, the convention center is being expanded, this time directly behind the building that is in front of the boat. That is going to allow the city to tear down an older portion of the convention center so they can build a new city park to river level. The renovation will be completed by adding both residential and commercial units within the plaza for a total projected cost of $325 million. If you look at river level in front of the boat, you're going to see these green and black things. Those are guide rails, placed there by the owners of this boat, because those folks have little to no confidence in us drivers to get through here without scratching up their boats. So they put these guide rails in to more or less straighten us out. As we exit the Convention Center Lagoon, if you look back up to my right, above the Lila Cockrell Theater signage, you will see a mosaic. The mosaic is titled Confluence of Civilizations. It was created by Juan O'Gorman for our hemisphere. To give you a little better idea of its meaning, if you look at the very center of the mosaic, you will see a representation of Adam and Eve. It's a woman, a man, and a child. All the other representations on the mosaic display either a civilization or accomplishments of a civilization, theoretically from the time of Adam and Eve to the present day. The mosaic itself is 130 feet long, 32 feet high, contains approximately 400,000 one-inch square tiles that came in 11 different colors from 7 different countries and supported the theme of the hemisphere, which was to build a better relationship with our Latin American neighbors. Now, if you look up to my right, the big white building you see is the Grand Hyatt Hotel. It opened in 2008 as the newest hotel with frontage along our Riverwalk, and it is of a unique concept. The cement portion of the building is the hotel, while the upper floors, encased in glass with balconies, are condominiums. Folks, as we proceed up under the little footbridge in front of the boat, this will be the termination point of our tour. If you care to look over the back of the boat as we pull out, you can get a better photo shot of the Tower of the Americas. I do hope that you enjoyed your boat ride this afternoon. I also hope that you've enjoyed the San Antonio Riverwalk Water Park. And I do also hope you found the historic narration that accompanied your tour to be both entertaining and informative. I've enjoyed bringing all 3 of them to you. We at Rio San Antonio Cruises would like you to like us on Facebook and to follow us on Twitter. I would ask that you please do me one final favor, and that would be to remain seated while I dock and secure the boat. When departing, please be sure to take all your belongings with you. We do have some younger drivers that will tell you, should you leave something behind, like a tablet or a cell phone or a smartphone or something, camera, that we have a lost and found. It's at www.ebay.com. But I'm an older generation folk. I don't have an eBay account, so I appreciate if you just take it with you. And folks, if you did enjoy this afternoon's tour, as the sign says on the podium directly in front of the steering station, for a job well done. Our drivers do appreciate your tips and gratuities. Folks, please remain seated while I dock and secure the boat.
Thank y'all for watching.